Welcome to the Retro Blood.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Retro Blood. As we continue and end this month of spirit, demons, taking over your mind, body, and soul, changing your life forever, changing your personality forever, changing even your looks forever. Up next, if y'all like movies where the cast screams out the other cast members' names for the whole movie. Eric! Oh, fuck. Shut the fuck up. God damn, that shit was annoying the hell as me. If y'all like a redhead who is very close to being sued by Nightmare on Elm Street because she has dreams and then people die in her dreams, I guess. But she does the killing or the entity does the killing, or I'm not really sure. I was bored watching this movie, but we'll talk about it anyway. If y'all like islands that nothing goes on and they go to an island to go fish and you have death by fish hook, then this is the movie for you, because the Retro Blood is talking all about Slayer, or the Slayer, not Slayer the band, but the Slayer.
That's the Slayer, yeah.
Or Nightmare Island. All right, that's the second name it has. J.H. Alison, James Kline, what's happened, Alison? How was your adventure on the Nightmare Island? Were you going fishing when it's windy? Did you bring some crazy artist girl who paints demon pictures and then nobody believes her, but they all die anyway? How'd that work out for you?
I actually like this movie better than you did.
You probably did. I was bored as shit.
Yeah, I didn't hate this. I mean, I understand why you were bored with it. Oh, hey, buddy.
Hey, what's up, cat? That's our boy over here. That's our mascot over here, the Retro Blood cat. Just chilling.
Hold on. You can't be over there. You got to be over here, buddy. Okay, you got to be over here.
Was the cat a big fan of Slayer?
No, he went to sleep while I was watching it.
He was in my boat. There you go.
I mean, it's not an action-packed movie by any stretch of the imagination, but it was. I think there's more to it than you think, and I'll talk about some of that while we're watching it. I mean, it wasn't fantastic, but I thought it was. I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching it.
Maybe you'll convince me. So, for shoot purposes, I was watching this movie like on the airplane because I'm out here right now in the beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia,
nice.
And I don't know, man. I just could not like get into it. I don't know if it was the characters or if it was like the main girl. I don't know. And then they all start screaming their names. I was like, oh God, here we go. And then like the death scene were kind of weird. I mean, the fish one was kind of cool. That was kind of creative.
Yeah.
The one where the guy gets his head stuck in the fucking shaft or whatever, that was kind of neat. And then I did like it when the girl like kissed his head and there's a dead head and everything. I mean, that was kind of okay. But like, I don't know, that's the dialogue between they're just like, to me, they just weren't like likable characters. I don't know. It's very weird.
That's true. They didn't really have any likable characters in the whole movie. The whole thing where the guy gets his head stuck in that thing, like I can't really figure out how that even happened. Like, how it's physically possible for his head to go in there and that like that. But
magic.
But anyway, yeah.
All right, everybody. So to start off the Retro Blood, we're going to get to the history segment here in a second, but I just want to promote something really quick. So this actually happened like last week, but I posted it probably, I posted it around like Tuesday or Wednesday. All right. So I was actually on a radio show. All right. This past couple of weeks promoting the Retro Blood. I was on KNON Dallas. All right, with my boy DJ Crash, my good friend Jay. We're on there, so this show is really cool, man. Like if y'all like very into like underground goth music, like kind of like the underground goth, like retro music and stuff. What do you call it? Dark wave. I mean, he plays some like rare stuff on there. It was a very light night. It's a very late night show. It like goes from like I think it goes from like 1 in the morning to like 4 in the morning or something like that. So it's like a whole late night goth thing on Friday over there in Dallas. I posted a link for everybody, so check it out. You can see it on our Facebook page. I'll try to do it on the Facebook page, our main page as well too. I'll try to give Alison the link to it as well. But yeah, it was really fun on there. Like we were just talking about, Italian horror movies on there. We're talking about a little bit of the goth scene here in Asheville, around Vancouver and everything. I got to introduce a couple great songs on there. So really fun listen. Like I said, if y'all are fans of dark wave, goth music, this is definitely a show to check out. You don't have to listen to it at like 3 or 2 in the morning on Fridays. If you get their stuff on there, you can get the links and stuff like that. But check it out. Like I said, if y'all are big fans of goth music and stuff, want to hear my little sweet voice talk about the retro blood, hang out with my boy DJ Crash. We did ask the question, Allison: are vampires, are they sterile?
Are vampires sterile? I'm going to say yes.
See, I would say yes too, but since I'm a nerd, all right, I remember one vampire having a baby, and that's Castlevania, because in Castlevania, Dracula had a baby named Alucard with the human female. So I guess he wasn't shooting them blood banks, brother. He was shooting some good stuff.
I guess he wasn't shooting blanks. That's true. I just think it's weird that he.
That's the only one I can think of.
Yeah. I would say normally, in most cases, vampires are indeed sterile. Yeah. They can't have offspring in the way that we think of. That's why they have to convert people through the blood and shit. But I think it's weird that having not played the Castlevania games, I think it's weird that Dracula named his son Alucard, which is Dracula backwards. Well, I just think that's weird.
Maybe he didn't want to do Dracula 2 or Junior. Alucard sounds cooler. All right. You know what I mean? So
yeah, true. He does.
But everybody, check it out if you can. So, but back to the show. Let's get into what was going on in the world of the pro wrestling and the metal music around this movie's release date. Where the hell do you think this was released? Some back alley?
It was apparently released almost nowhere. It wasn't even released. It wasn't even released uncut on video until years later. Really? But I think the video cut was the edited cut that they showed, the 83-minute cut that they showed in New York City in October of 1982. But this had some other issues, though, which I'm sure we'll talk about when we talk about who booked this shit with it getting released. I think this would have come out in theaters, in some kind of theaters, if they hadn't had the problems that it had.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's October 1st, 1982. All right. So let's do something different here. I like to spice things up a little bit. Allison, you go first. What do we got going on when it comes to the metal music?
So because we didn't actually have, that October 1st date is a placeholder because it was just released sometime in October in New York. Basically, what that means is it was just shown in a movie theater. And I wanted to talk about this album because we talked about, it's kind of a follow-up, even though this part takes place before the other part that we talked about. But about a year ago, we were talking about Kiss's 10th anniversary tour, which would have been the tour for Creatures of the Night. So in October of that was early 1983, like February of 1983. In October of 1982, Kiss released Creatures of the Night, which was supposed to be a comeback album for them. And it kind of was compared to their previous album. They'd released an album called Music from the Elder, which was supposed to be a concept album. And Kiss was one of those bands, just like we've talked about a lot, that had trouble adapting from the 70s to the 80s because, new wave and punk had come. And it was kind of hard for a lot of bands, Kiss especially, to adapt to what the times were like in the 80s. So Music from the Elder was their attempt to do that, and it failed miserably. Like their fans didn't like it, and the casuals hated it. So it just failed on all accounts. So they wanted to do something for their 10th anniversary to bring back that spark they used to have. The problem with this, though, is that Ace Frehley had quit the band more than a year before this, so they didn't really have a lead guitar player. Ace was still technically part of the band, but he wasn't playing with them. So they decided to record an album without him and use session guitar players. One of them was Vinnie Vincent, who would go on to be in Kiss the next year. So they recorded this album called Creatures of the Night, which was supposed to be like a comeback album for them, so to speak.
Yeah.
The cover of it has Ace Frehley on it, even though he doesn't play on the album and didn't play on the tour and wasn't really in the band as far as any kind of contribution goes. And the album did a lot better. I mean, it was heavier. It was kind of bringing back this heavy metal sound that they had, that they kind of, I mean, Kiss is not heavy metal, but, it brought back that harder edge sound that they used to have. And strangely enough, one of the songs was written by Bryan Adams
Really?
Before he was famous. Yeah, Bryan Adams wrote a song for them with Gene Simmons called Rock and Roll Hell. Overall, this album is pretty good. I like it quite a bit, as much as I like any 80s Kiss. Like this is and Music from the Elder, the only two 80s Kiss albums I listen to, really. But when I bought this album, I was on a trip to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, which is kind of like it's just a big tourist town. I was going to compare it to Las Vegas, but it's not like that at all. That gives it definitely a different vibe. Yeah, it's definitely smaller and not as much going on. But there was this cool record store I used to go to every time we made a trip there. And I bought Creatures of the Night, and it had a different cover. It had the current band at the time, which had Bruce Kulick in it. So I never see the cover with Ace Frehley until years later. But I remember getting that and riding back in the car as a little kid, listening to that on my headphones. But basically this was going to be their comeback album, and it really did kind of save them, even though they were really unpopular at the time. And when they, like I talked about before, an episode from last April, where they had gone on tour and so few people would show up that, when Paul Stanley would throw out a guitar pick to the crowd, it would go over the heads of the fans and hit the floor behind them. There were so few people there. But I just want to spend a minute talking about this because Creatures of the Night is a really good album, and when you revisit it now, I think it sounds especially good compared to all the other stuff they were doing. But yeah, that's all I wanted to mention was Creatures of the Night came out this month.
Yeah,
in 1982.
There you go. You can listen to some great comeback of Kiss, Creatures of the Night, and then you can watch some Creatures of the Night, kind of, not really, and
not really. Yeah.
Well, there was one cool looking and evil hand.
Yeah, and then there was that creature at the end of it, the Slayer itself, I guess.
That's right. Yeah, it was at the very, very end. That's where you got.
Which we don't. Yeah, well, we only saw it in one scene.
I know. Well,
but I'll comment why I think that is when we get there.
Yeah. All right. So what I got going on actually happened on April 1st, 1982. It's actually one of the big, not April 1st. What the fuck am I talking about?
I was going to say, why did you pick April?
I don't know why I was thinking April. It just randomly came out of my head. October 9th.
Right. Okay. Very good. Very good.
1982. Fuck. All right. We have Nick Bockwinkel.
Oh,
one of
nice.
my favorite old school wrestlers of all time. This guy was like kind of like the Ric Flair before Ric Flair, almost, I would say. Even though they're kind of like around the same time. But he was so fucking good. I praised him before on the show, so anybody that's listened to us for a while knows I'm a big fan of the Bockwinkel. He used to have Bobby Heenan as manager as well too. So the early 1982s to about, I don't know, maybe like 85, 86. His career, Bockwinkel was more of like a 70s guy, and like maybe like a little bit of the 80s.
Yeah.
I know he had a good run with Hogan for a while. And then it was the whole big war of them putting Hogan over and everything in the AWA. But on this night, Nick Bockwinkel actually pinned Otto Wanz, in Chicago, Illinois, to become the new AWA World Heavyweight Champion. All right. And this is actually a noticeable event. All right, because Otto Wanz was a champion for a little while, and Nick Bockwinkel, kind of ended his reign and stuff, and kind of like where he started Nick Bockwinkel's like rise. You know what I mean? In the 80s again. So
right,
like in the 70s, a really good wrestler and stuff, but this is when I think this is when he was starting to become like more of like a main event draw for the AWA at the time. Kind of like coming like their kind of like their Ric Flair. Like AWA always had Vern Gagne. He was like their main babyface guy. But Nick Bockwinkel was like the main like heel. He was like the big heel of the territory. You know what I mean? Like he's probably, he's kind of like the the Ric Flair, the fucking who's the big heel now? Fucking is there even a heel now?
Well, that's what I was going to mention when you said that. Like, who is I can't tell who the big heel is right now.
In the WWF,
I mean, Gunther, I guess.
Gunther. Okay, yeah, there you go. Gunther would be the closest to a Nick Bockwinkel, very similar style. Yeah. So, but basically like that. So, but yeah, I mean, he's a great wrestler. Everybody check him out. If you're interested in learning about some wrestlers, I definitely would pick Nick Bockwinkel on that list. I talked about this before, but if y'all could ever find the AWA DVD that's out there, that's a really good watch that the WWF put out before, learning about the territory. There's a lot of interesting history with them. So,
yeah,
but
sorry, go ahead.
No.
I was gonna say I love Nick Bockwinkel's hair.
Oh yeah, no,
because he had that kind of almost like that Elvis slick back thing with the big mutton chops that come down. Oh, that's the coolest fucking look, dude. That's the coolest fucking look.
And he did the fucking Miami Vice like white suits with the big aviators. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Looked like he's gonna either snort some cocaine or he's gonna go play golf. One of the two.
Yeah. Another thing you got to consider is he was born in the 30s. So, like in the 80s, he was already in his 50s, which is unheard of for a wrestler at the time.
Yeah. Still winning. Yeah, exactly. For the particular. That's why I said little later on in the 80s, probably around like 85, maybe like 86, 80s, kind of like he started to wind down. Whenever the AWA went down, Nick Bockwinkel basically kind of joined WCW in the 90s, but he was more like a manager, like a figurehead, kind of like a president guy.
Right.
All right. But he was a great wrestler, man, in his day. Like he was, his matches were very scientific. It's kind of like that Zack Sabre Jr. style, you know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Yeah. Right.
But speaking of style, let's get into who booked this shit, brother. Gosh. All right. The Slayer, also known as Nightmare Island. Which one do you like better, Alison?
Honestly, I like Nightmare Island better. I think it suits the movie better. For reasons that I'll mention when we talk about the plan. Talk about the film. I'll say why. I'll tell you why I think that suits you better. Suits the movie better. But the Slayer just doesn't make any sense.
No.
It looks good on a poster, though. I bet.
Well, the poster does look kind of cool in this one. I mean, you basically see the demon that we see at the end. He's in like this cool looking flame. It says the Slayer. I mean, it kind of looks like it could be a Slayer album almost.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it's just not my thing. So this is booked, all right, and directed by J.S. Cardone.
Right.
All right. So J.S. Cardone, he's known for doing Shadow Zone.
Yep.
The Forsaken, and he wrote The Covenant. Oh, that's fancy.
Yeah, he also made this movie that I really like called Crash and Burn.
Yeah.
He wrote it. He didn't direct it, but it's a really low budget movie from 1990 about giant fighting robots.
There you go.
I remember getting that on video, and I really like that movie a lot.
Yeah. Looks like he did most of his career in the 90s. Like in the 80s, he did this movie, which I guess it was his first directed, and he wrote this movie as well too. And then after this, he would do Thunder Alley. So maybe it got better on as you go. The first one.
Well, I wouldn't call Crash and Burn like a top quality movie, but it's fun, and I enjoyed watching it on VHS when it came out.
So here's some stuff that's going on. So in 1981, writer-director J.S. Cardone was working at a liquor store in Los Angeles. I can respect that. It's probably crazy out there. While attempting to break into the film business and pitch the idea for The Slayer to producer William R. Ewing. All right. You got any good William R. Ewing stories?
Only this one where he decides to finance because he's from Atlanta and he decided to finance this movie through the International Picture Company.
Yeah.
Which promptly went out of business, as we'll find out in a few minutes.
Yeah. So the International Picture Company, an independent film studio based in Atlanta, agreed to help produce a project on a budget of approximately $750,000.
Yeah. Okay. So I have a question. Where did all that money go?
Well, it went to the Book in the Island.
And cocaine.
It went to cocaine for the staff. And it also went to Kay, our main girl. It went to her hair because you see how big that fucking thing was.
That's true. There was a huge hair spray budget for this, for sure. But I
didn't even like move. It was like stiff as fuck.
Yeah. When I saw this movie and then saw how much they spent on it, I was like, how did this movie cost $750,000?
Yeah.
In 1982 money or 1981 money. That's insane. Like, I don't know. I mean, they must have bought a plane. I don't know what they spent this money on. Because they filmed it in Savannah. Yeah, they filmed it near Savannah.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess Cardone said recalled it was perfectly fit for the version he had for the filming while writing the script. And it says filming took place in winter of 1980. That must have sucked. Winter of 1982 on a TV island with additional
It's pretty warm. It's pretty warm down there. You know, it's like almost in Florida. So it's pretty warm in January or wintertime.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it could be a little cold out. I haven't been to Savannah. I've drove by it a couple times, but it looks like I've heard it's like a nice place. So. All right, so let's see what else we got on here. All right, so of course this one was another video nasty, which God, was every fucking film basically a video nasty?
I was shocked
so nasty
at this.
about this.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm surprised that this was listed as a video nasty. Which if the people now. If like the people haven't been following us, video nasties were essentially like banned movies in the UK.
Yeah.
So, but I feel like at a certain point, although this was early, they were just banning whatever. Any American horror movies that came out in the UK, I feel like were just getting banned. Anything low budget, but this I really don't see. Plus, they got an edited version of it too. Like even the unedited version, I don't think is that graphic, which is what we watched.
All right, so apparently the pitchfork murder scene was done in one take. There you go, brother. That one was okay.
That looked cool. Like when I watched that scene a couple of times. The only thing about that is you can tell that they didn't have any kind of special effect to show the pitchfork going through her.
Yeah.
Because in one scene you see it push out the front, which they used some kind of like, like effect that went under her shirt to show the spines push out. And in the very next scene, it cuts to it just being out of her.
Yeah.
So you can tell that they shot that scene with it going through her shirt, and then they just shot a scene with no pitchfork in there. There's no holes in her shirt or anything. So you could tell that how that was very clumsily made, but I mean, that's probably the best they could do.
All right. So this is a little trick they used to do in the 80s. All right. And I'll just read this one. So despite appearing on the front cover of like apparently like movie posters and the Blu-rays and stuff, the creature on this, I guess the Slayer, only appears in the film for like 3 seconds at the end.
Yep.
So it's one of those gimmicks where we're going to promote our cool art for the poster, and then you watch the movie and you only get him for like 3 seconds at the end, basically. Which a couple of movies have done that before. So we have J.S. Cardone claims that the story was inspired by H.P. Lovecraft. There you go.
All right.
Due to elements of Dream verse, I thought it was Nightmare on Elm Street, but I guess I was wrong. Well, okay, Nightmare on Elm Street
wasn't out yet.
No, that's right. I don't know what I was thinking, but yeah. Okay, so I guess Nightmare on Elm Street did have a little Lovecraft style with it too, but it also was that story of the kids dying in their dreams and shit. So, so it says due to the elements of dream versus reality, although there are few, if any, actual Lovecraft tropes anywhere in the film.
Right.
So the sequence with the fisherman was added as a afterthought. Okay. I thought in ruins during the shooting of the film. The TB Post Theater was reconstructed by a nonprofit organization and reopened in 2009. So that's cool. That theater, bro, that'd be a cool place to go. That theater. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go on there and be like, yo, The Slayer was filmed here. And they'll be like, what the fuck is that? I was like, don't worry about it.
That's happened to me multiple times. Like I'll show up at some place where some low budget horror movie was made, and the people that own it now have no idea what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Like, what
like I've always,
and then they watch it. They're like, oh god, I hope we don't got some fucking nerds coming to my place now, like these assholes.
like I've shown up at places and explained to them that's what some low budget horror movie was made here, and I've always wanted to visit this place.
Yeah.
And then they're like, has this guy lost his fucking mind? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you came all over from North Carolina to see this on the back of this low budget shitty movie that only you like. But
Only you like, yeah. So apparently it was, like I said, shot in 36 days. The film score was recorded in London. And then, of course, we talked about this being Cardone's director's debut. Did you have anything else in this, Alison, you wanted to talk about?
Not yet. I have some more to contribute when we talk about the main movie.
Okay.
But yeah, but that was basically what I was talking about. But they, I did want to say that. So one of the reasons that, as I mentioned before, the reason that it didn't get released was because the International Picture Company went out of business.
Yeah.
Before it came out. They went bankrupt, and then they were acquired by a company called 21st Century Film Corporation. Which really didn't care as much about releasing this movie as the original owners did, which is why it only got released in October in 1982, and it was an edited. It was a rough cut, actually. So according to this, they didn't even show a finished movie; like they showed an edited rough cut, and then that's the version that's been on VHS through the 80s. And I don't really know for sure when it got released. Fully. It probably wasn't until according to this, it was in 2001. So you couldn't see it in an unedited form until 2001. So it's one of those movies that was kind of lost to time for a few years.
Yeah.
But it was released as a double feature with a movie called Scalps, which I want to do on this show at one point. Was directed by Fred Olen Ray, so you could see The Slayer and Scalps in the same night, and I think that would be a great night out. To be honest with you,
that one Scalps sounds pretty fun.
Yeah, we should definitely do that at some point, and talk about Fred Olen Ray, which we've never talked about on the show. But anyway, that's a different show. So today we're talking about The Slayer.
So I like some of the taglines though. Is it a nightmare, or is it? That's it.
Yeah, it's definitely a nightmare.
Terror strikes again and again.
And again.
I like this one.
And again.
She searched through the dark corridors of the unknown only to find the Slayer.
That was not as fun.
Speaking of not as fun, let's get into it. Let's get into the full review of Nightmare Island, a.k.a. the Slayer.
Let's do it.
What you're about to see may shock you. It may frighten you more than you've ever been frightened before. Don't worry. It's only a maddening, horrifying nightmare. Or is it?
What are you going to do?
Fire some flares. Did you give her the pills like I told you?
Maybe it's not a nightmare after all.
It's just some phenobarb. No.
It's for your own good, Kay.
The Slayer.
There's nothing up here.
Are they really alone? Or is there an unwelcome guest? Is this a nightmare? Or Is it the fears we all have when we're alone in the dark? And if it's only a nightmare, why is everybody dead? Prepare yourself, because you will never want to be alone again.
All right. So we start off with meeting the cast, Kay.
Mhm.
All right. She's a visual artist who is plagued by her disturbing nightmares that she had apparently ever since she was a kid. All right. And we have some of the cast members. Eric, all right, is I guess was it Eric and
David.
David. But Eric isn't Eric. He's the one that's the brother, right?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
his wife is named Brooke.
Yeah, it's Brooke. Yeah. So we have Eric, David, Brooke, and Kelly. All right. So
Kay.
Eric, yeah, Kay, yeah. So David and Kay are in a relationship. All right. And then Eric and Brooke are in a relationship. All right.
Mhm.
So Eric is, basically saying that he has a this new island he wants to go to fishing on. All right. And he's going with back and forth with Brooke at the beginning of the film. Like that's all they do really is go on fishing vacations. She wanted to do something else. But he's like, no, this place is going to be different. I'm going to bring everybody, blah, blah, blah. All right. And of course, he cuts himself with a razor, foreshadowing what will happen to him. Kind of.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of that in
Yes.
this movie, and I'll bring that up.
So obviously, we established that Eric's a big fisherman, and he's going to bring his sister and his sister's boyfriend to this island. All right. So they all jump on the good old air jet.
Mhm.
All right. What do you call that thing? So the
No, it's a
pilot
plane.
jet? Yeah, plane.
Yeah, it's like a just a small prop plane.
Yeah, kind of like goes on the. I think it landed on the beach or water or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little prop
It
plane.
lands on the beach. Yeah.
So they're in the airplane. Apparently, Brooke flies airplanes all the time. Maybe she's a stewardess and stuff, and she was getting sick because she didn't like these kind of planes.
Mm-mm.
So we have the. I guess I don't know if the guy had his name. All right. I think they called him the fisherman. No, it wasn't the fisherman. It was the crazy airplane driver guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And his name Marsh.
Yeah, Marsh. That's what it was. The he's the Friday the 13th dude on this film.
Yeah. The
Where
old
he
guy saying, "You're all gonna die."
Yes, you're all
That
gonna
guy.
die.
Yeah.
So they land on the island and stuff. And this whole time, like Kay is like haunted by some of her nightmares and stuff like that. And apparently she's just getting a bad feeling about coming to this island and stuff. So they land on there. It's very windy out there.
Yeah.
And it's like, they're like, what the fuck are we doing here? It's like windy and this is like not good for fishing. And of course, Eric's like, oh, it's wonderful, fantastic. And then this is when they ask Marsh about the islands. He says this island is, he didn't say it was like really cursed or nothing. He just says a lot of people don't come to this island because of all the dangerous stuff that could happen here during this time or whatever. And basically he was telling you all should go back and get out of here. And he's like, and they're all like, oh, don't worry about it. So they walk around on the beach. All right. And I like it how they know they were getting landed on a beach and all the girls are wearing like high heels.
I know.
Yeah.
How convenient, right?
Yeah. Like, I don't know if that was like a mistake or something, or just like, fuck it, go on there with the heels. You'll be all right.
No, I think it was just that was what they wanted. That's what they thought their female character should wear, and they didn't consider that they would be on a beach trying to walk around in sand and high heels, which I could only imagine would be hard. I've never worn high heels myself.
Yeah. So they're walking forever in this fucking film, and they finally find, I guess, the place that they're trying to stay. The place they're trying to stay, it's all run down to shit and everything. All right. Let's see. So they're basically so they're kind of chilling at the the island for a little bit. They're all talking about how rundown it is, but they're gonna stay there anyway.
Yeah.
A couple of them go off to do some making out and shit like that. And then during this time too, the Marsh guy comes back. All right. And he's telling them basically, hey, you all should get off this fucking island because there's like a hurricane coming. All right. And it's shipped towards the islands.
Right.
All right. And then Eric, an idiot, is like, well, I don't see nothing.
Yeah.
Brother.
Well,
I can't see it with my own two eyes. It's not coming.
no, because he would certainly know more than the guy who lives there, right?
Exactly. Well, does Marsh live? I guess he does live there, right?
Well, he lives in the area,
Yeah.
right? Because he's flying them from the mainland to the island, and he basically tells them that, when the hurricane comes, he's not going to be able to come back and get them until it's over. So they can't leave the island if something goes wrong.
Yeah.
Unless they leave now.
Yeah. So basically they're decided to stay. Marsh is still telling them that they must leave the island before he's stranded there. And then of course all the couples, they discover that against expectations, the island is deserted and mainly populated by buildings, like old buildings and stuff.
Right.
And it was like kind of like ruins of a once like highly like popular town. All right.
Mm.
So now Kay, like when she's walking around in the sand, she sees this old theater. All right. And she's like, oh shit, I drew that shit in my dream.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's all like, oh, it's just Kay being Kay. You're just a struggling artist. Oh boy, when her brother goes off on his art, that was like kind of funny. But we'll get there. All right. So she is now saying that she's basically dreamed about this place since she was a child. All right. And she's kind of warning everybody, I think we're all in danger if we stay here. All right. So now, since they did stay there, they cannot leave if they wanted to because of the hurricane. All right.
Right.
And they're basically kind of like the whole movie. Basically, they were just like blowing off her dreams as like her just being a struggling artist, because they're basically talking and they get. There's a couple back and forth. So David is trying to be a little bit more, helpful, thoughtful with his girlfriend. Eric's just like, the reason you're stressing out so much because you're doing that shitty art. You got to start doing better. All right. So little different dynamic, of course, with siblings compared to people in relationships and stuff. So now it's our first round of the killings. So they're all sleeping in the bed and everything. This is after, Kay is basically just not having fun at this island at all. Mm-hmm. Eric ripped into her about her being a struggling artist. She needs to find something else, or, the reason your art's so fucked up because you keep fascinating on these dreams.
Yeah.
David's like trying to get her to everybody's basically trying to get Kay to calm down. Kay won't calm down. All right. She wants to be moody. I say just let her be fucking moody.
Just let her be moody.
All right. So now David wakes up because he hears a little noise. All right. Kay is dreaming. All right. And David walks around the house. I felt like it was like an hour for him to get up to this fucking place. I was like, I think I might have dozed off while he was walking so much. Okay. So he finally gets to like the ledger or something what was this? It was like on top of the roof, and it was like a open door or shaft or something.
I don't know. Like this is the part where I don't understand. This is where he gets his head caught, right?
Yeah.
It looks like he just goes through the floor and somehow his head gets caught in it or something.
Well, it looks like he opened up the gate thing on the roof. And
I don't know what you call that, but I know what you're talking about. Right.
It snapped it, but like there's no physical way like
exactly
can like fit in like if you're looking out and then the thing hits, it's gonna hit your head and back. But
right. That's what I'm saying.
Right there.
Yeah, but it looks like it went right through the floor of the roof or whatever.
Yeah. It's really weird.
And like I don't know how it caught his neck and killed him, but apparently it did. I guess we didn't put that much thought into this. So,
there it is, man. There you go.
It is what it is. We only had $750,000.
Yeah. So he's hanging up dead now. Yeah. There you go. I just imagine the gore or like the art director. He's like, oh, how much scene is gonna cost? I'm like, these fucking idiots. Oh, that'd be about 10,000.
Mm.
All right. Well, you need 10,000. Yeah, I need about 3,000 for the props. I need 7 to go gamble.
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly.
So now the next day or whatever, Kay is dreaming.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and she dreams of kissing David's dead head in the bedroom, which is kind of a cool scene.
That was cool.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, it's the classic finding a head in the bed with you.
Yes. So also too, apparently that day when she was looking around, she apparently found the hanging body abandoned in the playhouse of the island. So Eric, of course, does not believe Marsh left the island or David left the island. So the first round, we get David over and over and over again saying, David, David.
Well, they got to look for him.
David.
They just looked for him a really long time.
David. David. Oh, fuck. Just get on with it, bro. He's not there. Move on.
Yeah.
Fuck. All right. So now they can't find David. All right. So now he's trying to find Marsh. All right. And so they're trying to find, David and Marsh and stuff. Eric doesn't believe Marsh left the islands, and after a while, they start being suspicious of Marsh. Maybe he has something to do with David's disappearance.
Yeah, he thinks that Marsh stayed on the island and is trying to kill them.
Yeah. Because they also kind of see him on the island too.
Yeah.
So Kay now believes that the island has allowed her to dream to cross over into reality, that the creatures from her dreams is responsible. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So she's starting to really believe like maybe it was her dream that have ended up killing David and stuff.
Yeah, right? the slayer, if you will, from her dreams. Yeah.
So this right here gets us to the part where Eric is trying to find some like help and stuff to try to get off the island, because he's worried about Marsh coming after him, and he's kind of like, I'd say he gave up on finding David, but he's just like he can't really figure out what to do. So this is the scene where he's on the dock and everything, hears a couple noises, he goes to check it out, and this is when he dies by fishhook.
Yeah, this was awesome. Yes. I love the death by fishhook. We've only seen that once before.
Yes.
In that fishing movie that we did.
Yeah, that's a good one.
What is that called? I can't. I'm trying to remember what it's called. It was a trauma film we did. The same.
That was a good one.
Wasn't it called? Oh shit! Was it called Hook?
Yeah,
Hooks?
Hook or something. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, when we did all those killer appliance months.
Yeah, that was.
We did that, and we did the one about the lawnmower, and
Blades.
we did Blades. Yeah, one. Blades is the lawnmower one, and then we did Microwave Massacre, which is a classic.
Classic, brother.
Yeah,
way better than this shit.
Yes. Anyway,
so apparently, how it's working now, and Kay is coming up to this conclusion that every time that she sleeps, people die. Because she was sleeping when David died, and she was also sleeping when Eric died. Okay.
Yeah. And Bloodhook. Sorry. Sorry, it's skinny. Bloodhook. That's what that movie's called.
Yes.
Yeah. Bloodhook is great. If you haven't seen that, look up Bloodhook. I bet it's on YouTube. But anyway, so every time she
join us.
Anyways, every time she sleeps, somebody dies.
Hey, we're almost at 300 episodes, man. We're gonna forget some here and there. I've been doing this for a long time, man.
Wow. Yeah.
All right. So
a long time.
So during the night, right?
Yeah.
This is also a story before Eric died. He told Brooke about this story about Kay, where Kay was given a black kitten for Christmas, has a young girl, but she dreamed about the kitty dying and everything, and the next day they found the kitty frozen to death in the family's freezer for 2 days.
God damn.
And then Kay blames the creature in her nightmares for the cat's death. All right. So it's kind of like it's a similar thing to Freddy, but instead of the demon trying to kill you in your dreams are killing other people while you're dreaming.
Yeah.
All right, which is a cool concept. I'll give them that, but it's also, I don't think they executed it that well. All right, so we talked about Eric being murdered on the beach. That was a cool scene with him getting blood hooks on him, and I like the scene where they actually had the hooks on him and they dragged him into the water. You know what I mean? That was kind of cool.
That was awesome.
Cool deal. So now Brooke she's doing what half the other people did in this film. Eric, are you there? Eric, are you there? Oh boy, every time they do that, I feel like it's just 30 minutes of them saying the fucking people's names over and over again. Kind of just keep looking, man. You'll find.
Just keep looking. You'll find them, or you won't. You'll find their bodies.
So then, after she tries to look for Eric, now Brooke is being attacked. Okay, and she's fighting around. She's fighting all over the place. She's trying to get away from this entity thing, and then she eventually gets impaled by the pitchfork. All right, which was a cool scene.
Which is that cool scene we talked about earlier.
Yes.
When he goes right through her boobs.
Yes. So now Kay wakes up. She can't find anybody. So she screams everybody's fucking name. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. All right. She stumbles upon the beach. She finds dead bodies. She starts freaking out.
Yeah.
She runs back into the house, barricades herself. And like I said, there's two things we're made to believe right now. It's either Kay is thinking it's her dreams killing everybody, or it's Marshall killing everybody. Okay, one of the two. I guess that was our mystery.
Okay. Kind of.
So Kay barricades herself in the house, and she struggles to stay awake. So she's drinking coffee, and she puts a cigarette out on her hand. There you go. That'll keep you awake. All right. So, and then in the middle of this night, Marsh attempts to enter the house. But then Kay, first she stabs him with a knife when he was trying to, what was Marshall's plan here? That's first of all. So
see, I think that what I'm going to say about the movie is going to explain this part in a minute. Right. But anyway, go ahead.
Okay, I'll tell you about the part. Can you please explain Marshall's thoughts to me?
Try to.
So Marshall, who warned everybody to get out of here before you die, is now come back finally after everybody died except for one, and he just burst in, and he's trying to break through the door. And wouldn't he just be like, hey, I'm Marsh, I'm here to help out? No, he just breaking through the door like some sort of killer.
Well, yeah, okay, go ahead. Yeah.
So he's breaking through the door. Kay stabs his hand. Then she runs up. All right. And then she gets the flare gun that they got earlier. And then right when Marshall pivots and looks, she shoots his ass with her flare gun.
Yeah.
And there goes him. He's gone. And while doing that, it sets the house on fire. All right. And in all this chaos, Kay discovers a flaming skeletal creature waiting for her at the front door as she gets on out of there, which is the Slayer.
Yeah, and we see a cool animatronic Slayer that looks pretty cool. It looked pretty awesome.
The only time that we saw the Slayer was this scene. And one scene that I think I forgot to mention was during one of Kay's dreams at the very beginning of the film. I think it might have been the beginning of the film. She's walking around. The Slayer's bloody hand was on her shoulder. Okay, but
that was in a dream, though.
Yes, that was in a dream. Yes, so that's the only time we actually saw her in a dream. You know what I mean? A couple of other ones, she was not really present. I guess I don't know. So after all this chaos has happened, all right, the creature Slayer approaches her, and then Kay is now woken up on Christmas. Does this count as a Christmas movie now?
I was gonna say we should have held this as a Christmas film because I didn't know it was gonna have this ending, but it takes place on Christmas. So
what a low bar we have for our Christmas film. There's one mention of Christmas. Oh, it's a Christmas film.
It's a Christmas movie.
All right. So she wakes up on Christmas by her parents, telling them that she had a nightmare, just like Eric told us when she woke up, had those nightmares as a kid because there were cat and everything. Eric enters the room saying that we got you a present. You're sleeping in. Let's get this Christmas present stuff going.
Yeah.
And then Kay gives her the black cat. And then Kay looks at the cat, and I guess she remembers all her adult nightmares and stuff. And she's frightened, and she realizes that nightmare wasn't a bad dream, but it was a premonition.
Yeah. So that's how. So I think this movie. I saw it two different ways.
Yeah.
So through this entire movie, well, not through the entire movie, but by the time we got to the end of it, I thought this whole thing was a dream.
Yeah.
Or like was her dream. And it wasn't really happening. But then it shows that she was having a dream as a little kid. And these are all things that are going to happen to her.
Yeah.
Because in the dream, so Kay as a little kid knew in the dream that the black cat was going to die.
Yeah.
And then she was given the black cat. So she knew this was all going to come true, which is one of the things I liked about it. Like I thought that it's multi-layered, you can see it in different ways. Like I wanted to watch it twice, but I just didn't have time.
Yeah.
But you can see it in different ways. It could be also that Kay is killing everyone as well. Like I thought about that too. Like when I was watching it, I kind of thought that Kay might be the murderer, even though she's supposedly asleep when all the murders happen.
Yeah.
I was wondering if maybe like she was like, going into some kind of trance or something and killing them and then falling back asleep and not remembering it. So I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool that it has these different interpretations and I'm not sure what was happening in it. I thought that part was kind of cool, but you're right. It is a little bit boring.
Yeah. I mean,
as far as things happening.
When that ending happened, and I was like, oh, okay. So it was just a dream the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like she is. I had two thoughts. I was like, first, okay, did she just wake up and time travel back to her body? And she's just going to relive it all over again, like this endless loop? Yeah. It's kind of like, it could be like that too, where maybe she wakes up as a child and she gets all the way to that age where they go to the island no matter what. It's like this big endless loop that she's stuck in because of the demon slayer. All right.
Right.
Like,
could be.
Or it could be like what you said, like, she just dreamed about it and now she kind of knows, but, premonitions and stuff. So, I mean, it could be, I like the concept, but like I said, I thought some of the executions of the downtime to get to this point was a little boring. So,
yeah. It seems to me like he didn't have a whole lot of story and he was trying to fill 87 minutes.
Yeah.
Like it seems like he had the idea of, her waking up and then this whole thing might've been a premonition or a dream. Yeah. And then he's like, okay, how am I going to get her there? And then he just wrote this other stuff to make the rest of it happen.
Yeah, I think
it's what a lot of it seemed like.
Yeah, I think this would have been about like a kind of a shorter story.
Like if it were like an episode of Tales from the Crypt or something, I think it would have been much better.
Really, oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. Like that concept for like a shorter scripted show would have been great. So.
Yeah.
I totally agree. But everybody, thanks for joining us here on The Retro Blood for our ritual month. We got to do this again. There's a lot of ritual movies out there and spirit movies.
There's a lot
and
of them
like that. Yeah. So, Evil Possession Spirit Month. All right. But join us here next month because we're going to be celebrating all month long one J.H. Allison's birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Because we are going to be doing his picks for his birthday month in April. What do you got for us, Allison? What are we doing?
Man, I thought long and hard about what we were going to do. Like I can never decide.
Yeah, so tough.
It is tough. Last year I picked ghost movies, which turned out to be movies about a bunch of old people.
I know. Old people sitting around drinking tea, talking stories.
Exactly. Yeah. Hopefully this year I picked something a little more exciting for you, James. We're going to do the films of Yuli Lommel.
Oh, nice.
And we've talked about Yuli Lommel before, not on the show, but we've talked about doing some of his films. Yeah. But I picked 4 out that I've wanted to talk about for a while. And let's start off with a movie that he made in 1982, I believe. So we're staying in 1982.
Yeah, we're still there,
it's called the Devonsville Terror.
Ooh, the Devonsville Terror. I like it.
Yeah, and it's on Plex for people who want to watch it, or it's
Okay.
probably on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
But it
Check
is
it out.
also on Plex if people want to see it.
Sweet. We'll check it out, man. That should be pretty fun. Allison's picks, so we'll make it happen. But to get us on out of here, Allison, again, what Kiss song from the Creatures of the Night should we play that would perfectly fit this Slayer movie? For all of our podcast listeners, of course.
You know, for one that would fit the movie perfectly, we might as well play Creatures of the Night because that fits
Creatures
this
of
perfectly.
the Night. Because they were stalking, or at least one creature was, supposedly. Was it a creature, or was it Kay's dream? Or was it
Who
Marshall?
knows? Or maybe Kay was killing everybody.
Or maybe Kay was killing everybody. Because she was the Slayer herself. But there was a bunch of creatures of the night hanging around, causing mischief and terror.
Yeah.
But everybody, thanks for joining us. J.H. Alison, James Kline. We'll see you here all next week on the Retro Blood.
See you guys.